The U.S. China tariff deal. What's the impact on our food prices? Joining me now, we're going to welcome back to the program Dr. David Anderson of Texas A&M University. Dr. Anderson, great to see you. Thanks for joining us on the program this morning.
Well, thanks. It's great to be with you again.
It's always great to catch up. I love talking prices. I love talking economics, and I love talking food with you. Always have such a good time. I want to get your reaction, though, to this détente. I'm going to call it a détente, this tariff deal between the United States and China. First, get your reaction, and then I want to ask you in my next question about what the impact could be possibly to food prices. So start with the reaction to the détente.
Well, I guess I have to say that's good. It seems like
Yeah.
you know the whole tariff. I'm going to call it the whole tariff thing, including all the countries and all the moving parts here. I think even in food prices, it introduces more uncertainty, more volatility. And for some folks, volatility is bad. And so we get it and it, the climate we're in now, it changes minute by minute, it seems like. So again, kind of more volatility, but talking, figuring out something, getting those reduced is probably a good thing for us.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, by all accounts, it's going to bring down or keep prices relatively low, maybe not as low as they have been between the two countries. We don't have time to get into the nuances of tariffs, although I know you teach this in all your courses. But what's the impact? Is there an impact between this détente, this deal with China, potential deal with China, and the food prices that we're currently paying, or is it not correlated at all?
Well, I think it's more, I might suggest it's more indirect
Mm.
compared to some other countries. And for instance, I say that because China is a major market for our exports of corn and soybeans and beef, pork, and so those big agricultural commodities, those are, China's an important market where we're exporting to them. And if we do get some weekly data from USDA on our exports of beef and pork, and one of the things we saw as soon as the our tariffs, their retaliatory tariffs, we amped those up again, and so did they. As soon as that happened, beef exports to China dropped by 87% from one week to the next week. So they dropped to practically nothing. And China has become an important export market for our beef. It's our third largest export market, or was our third largest export market after Japan and South Korea. And that's a relatively recent, the last, 5-year kind of development. So it's a big export market for us.
And
And so it's the retaliatory tariffs that matter.
yeah, and so if the exports to China have gone down, what are they eating?
Well, they're getting it from other places, primarily
That's true.
Brazil. They may also get beef from Australia. So there are other countries to buy beef from than us. Now, we kind of hold a specific niche. We produce high quality, grain-fed beef, marbling. That's different from some other beef that they might buy. But it also, we just have a higher quality, generally more expensive beef.
Yeah, it is so good. I mean, I had a hamburger the other day. I really enjoy it. Dr. Anderson, if you don't mind me shifting gears, I want to ask you about a couple more things. Nestle just announced that it was raising the price on, I guess, its cocoa products. Is this a direct relationship to the price of cocoa, the bean itself, and the tariff deal or tariffs that we've been talking about for the last few months?
I think it is. I think companies are raising their prices to reflect their higher costs, and the tariffs are part of those costs. Now, I think a lot of companies don't want to blame it on the tariffs for political reasons, but that's what's going on. And for us in the food we eat, in the wide variety of things we eat, we import so many things like cocoa, coffee, things like that that we just can't produce in the U.S. In any kind of meaningful amounts. And so a lot of our fruits and vegetables we import. We produce a lot of that ourselves, but we import from other places things we can't grow or things that hit a different kind of market window because their growing season is different than ours. And it helps us get rid of, like, seasonality. It used to be you'd go to the grocery store and stuff was either in season or it wasn't. And if
Yep.
it was not in season, you didn't get it. But now we can get things year round because we get them from other countries.
Yeah, my grandmother used to be able to pick when the cantaloupes were fresh in Baltimore. They would come in, and she just had a knack for picking the best cantaloupe. I don't know how she did it. That she just, she's long gone. But anyway, I mean,
I don't have that skill either.
no, I don't have that skill. But it was like, we had to deal with seasonality, so you only had a finite amount of time to get some of the fruits that we love: cantaloupe, honeydew, etc. So does this mean, in all seriousness, David, does this mean that the price of a chocolate chip cookie that uses a Nestle product, chocolate chip, for example, is going to go up? Does it mean that pudding? Does it mean that the Swiss Miss coffee or Swiss Miss hot cocoa that we buy, is that going to go up as a result?
I think they're all going to be under pressure to go up. We just don't produce that in the US. And, we all like a chocolate chip cookie, at least, speaking for myself. And so those ingredients go up in price.
Yeah. Last topic I want to cover with you is fast food. We have been talking with you about this for several months, and at least each of your last couple of appearances on the network. Let's talk about McDonald's. McDonald's, I believe, has had to raise its prices. Its earnings, I think, were not as robust as they have been in the past. Is McDonald's losing its fast food turf? It used to be, Doctor, it was McDonald's, Burger King. I mean, there were only a handful of fast food joints. Now there's like a gazillion of them. But are they losing the market share that they worked so hard over the last 50, 60 years to earn?
I don't know that they're losing that. That's a pretty iconic brand, and they do some things that, draw in a lot of customers. But I think you rightly point out it is a more competitive marketplace through other, whether you call it fast food or sort of fast stuff, whether it's Chick-fil-A
Yeah.
or the explosion in hamburger places, all these different chains. So it's a tougher environment. And I think for consumers who might be more budget conscious too, that competition creates other choices. And it might even lead to some competition with more sit down places that some folks may see, gosh, the price difference isn't very much anymore. And they might see going to one of those places as having more value for the dollars that they're spending. And so, I just think it's a more difficult competitive environment, particularly if you're much more hamburger type based. If that's one of your major products or ingredients or things you put on the plate, it's a pretty tough environment.
Are the Happy Meals still a get for to draw in the kids and adults like my mom? My mom loved getting the Happy Meal because she liked the toys. I mean, but is that still the get? Because the kids would go and see Ronald, they would see Grimace, the Hamburglar. They would go to the where they used to have like jungle gyms and things like that. I mean, but are those still drivers for kids and adults?
I'm gonna say yeah, I think it is because it's a driver for me. Yeah, I kind of like
Hey,
the
wait a
Happy
minute. So
Meals
hold on, let me
myself.
clarify. So you're using the jungle gym and you want to see Ronald and Grimace?
No, but I darn sure want that toy in my Happy Meal when I get it. And I'll say the main reason I get a Happy Meal is, I'm most likely to stop at McDonald's when I'm going somewhere. I'm on a trip
Yeah.
somewhere. And, it just gets to where the size of it is right. For me, it's not necessarily, I'm not thinking about the price, but just the size of it, at some point it kind of works better for me.
Yeah, I mean, no one can argue with the golden arches. I mean, I know the McDowells from Coming to America, they tried to challenge McDonald's. It didn't work out too well for them, but McDonald's is a standby, and I think so many people are so conditioned to go there. So maybe their earnings are down. Hopefully they bounce back, and hopefully prices come down so that consumers can go to the store. Doctor, we're going to have to leave it there. Great to see you as always. Thanks for breaking it down so that even I can understand. And we look forward to having you back on the program again very soon.
Well, thanks for having me on. I appreciate the chance to be with you.
And don't forget to subscribe to our daily newsletter, The Morning Pulse, for all the news in one place. Details, of course, at our website. And your subscription also supports all this great BRN content. We're back again tomorrow for another edition of BRN. Until then, I'm Jeff Snyder. Stay safe, keep on saving, and don't forget, roll with the changes.